NarendraTheComic here, and right now we're going to be reviewing All or Nothing Tottenham Hotspur by Amazon Prime Primavera. I don't know if that last one's a word, but I'm gonna go with it because it sounds freaking sexy. Primavera? Primavera sounds like something's going on, something's happening there. Probably not. It might not. It sounds Portuguese, actually. It might be Portuguese. It might not. I'm speaking gibberish. I don't know what's real and what's not real. What I do know is real is the weird thing about this entire situation is that we know the story. We know what's gonna happen. Yet we're like, what happened? We know what happened, when it happened, potentially why it happened. We know what was going wrong when it was going wrong. We know when it was going right when it was going right. Very rarely, but sometimes it was going right. So the fact they've been able to hook us every single week and get us to watch this show really does perplex me. But at the end of the day, I am a Spurs fan through and through, and I will lap this type of stuff up. I know it's basically like a glorified reality TV show. Let's be honest, boys. It's basically that. I know there's stuff going on that maybe the team or the coaching staff or some of the boardroom wouldn't like to be out there that is out there from this show. But it's a good piece of marketing. It's a great piece of content in some ways. But I do understand that for the actual staff and the people working there, it's annoying because you're showing things which no one is aware of. Clubs who haven't had Mourinho as a manager, I guess, don't know the way he works. And I would assume it's very different from the way Senor Poch used to work. So letting the world in on the way he manages, how he does things, and seeing how he literally sits there at his desk with a pen being like, okay, so we're going to have Dyer and Toby, and we're going to have Serge all the way up the right. It's really, really interesting that he sits there with a pen and paper doing that. But I suppose that's just his method. I know it's something I do, I've done, seeing how you would set up the team instead of the boss or the gaffer, the big man. Something which did stand out to me in the show, watching it over the whole 9 episodes, was I remember going to the Spurs Olympiacos game where we won 4-2, but we were down 2-0 and 2-1 at half time. And I remember being there saying, Serge needs to bomb down the right-hand side. He needs to pop in the crosses. He needs to do stuff on the right. He needs to really, really go forward. And then, in the bloody changing room, bloody Mourinho's going, Serge, you need to bomb down the right. And he's like, but no one's going to be there if I bomb down the right. And he makes good points. Serge is making good point because he's like, the only thing I can do is cross. And if there aren't enough people in the box, then no one's going to get the cross. So I need someone to cut back to if there's a problem. And Mourinho was like, someone will be there. Eriksen will be there, I remember. I think it was Eriksen. But it's weird because I was thinking that. And as soon as Dyer came off in that game, it wasn't necessarily Dyer's fault. We just needed a change in formation and it wasn't working. I was like, you need to take someone off. Winks or Dyer has to go. We need to bring Eriksen on. 4 minutes later, Mourinho is like, hey, boys, we need to bring Eriksen on. We need to do it, all right? He might not be playing the best. He might not be in the right mindset, but clearly something is off here. Something is not right. And then Eriksen comes on, changes the game. The entire formation's different. The structure's different. The tempo's different. And we end up banging the game. And it's weird seeing the mentality of someone who knows football, and then you see what you're thinking is the same thing, and it makes you think, hey, maybe I could be a football manager. Not like on Football Manager, like the game. But in real life, it makes you think like, yeah, I know shit. But this show gave you a lot of things. Drama, tension, swearing, a lot of silly quotes, a lot of things going on. And sometimes maybe a bit too much vulgar language, all right? There was a bit too much profanity at certain times. And funnily enough, the only word that was bleeped out of the entire season was the word cunt. It was the only word that they said, no, we're going to have to bleep that one. All the swearing is okay. Everything else, all the lambasting, all the crazy shit, but we can't have that word. I think it got tested when that video got leaked, and they were like, nah, this is too many bad metrics came up when that word was thrown about, unedited and unbleeped, and that was funny. But it was a very, very fun, entertaining show, and I think part of it is there's going to be people who've never supported Spurs, never watched a documentary like this, never really been into football, and they watch a show like this, and they're like, that's really interesting. I might want to pick up pick up the sport, or maybe play the sport, or watch the sport, or be more engaged in their community club. All those things can come about from watching a documentary like this, and I think this type of stuff really differentiates Amazon Prime from a lot of other streaming services. I think it does. I think it gives them a little bit of an edge. They really do move forward in the sports realm. Along with doing these types of sports documentaries, sports films, they also, you know, air live sports, live tennis. They did live football last year. And I know for a fact, if Amazon Prime actually got like 10 game weeks, and those games were scattered about the entire year, the whole season, I would happily pay £15 a month for Amazon Prime if I'm getting that as well as all the other stuff. Maybe even £20 a month, because I just get rid of everything else. Like, I think they have a very unique opportunity to actually really double down on the sports front and make themselves stand out and unique within the streaming community. So it's cool. I think that it was a very, very interesting show. There was stuff which I didn't think I would get to see from the inside. Seeing all the injuries, seeing how they played out internally. I think a lot of it, when you break it down, was stuff we already knew. There were bits that were a bit fluffy, but when you really get to the core of it, there's a very, very good story there. That is not the story I wanted, because we ended up finishing bloody 6th, and it could have been 7th or 8th. Also could have been 3rd or 4th. So the season has begun. It's not the way we wanted to start. Not much barking and not much biting on the pitch either. There was practically nothing going on for Spurs other than 2 or 3 good chances against Everton. We looked like a bunch of whipping boys, and that was not fun. And over the last 4 or 5 years, especially under Poch, even under Redknapp and Villas-Boas to some degree, I haven't had this type of visceral dislike for what I saw on the pitch than what I saw yesterday or the day before. It was on the weekend, so it's a long time ago now, like 3-4 days ago. It was just real bland. Very bland. There was not much going on. Really, the Bournemouth game last year that ended 0-0, that was one. I think a game against Brighton where we lost 3-0, that might have been another one where that was just shocking. It was one of the worst performances by Spurs I've seen in a long time, I'm pretty sure. Some people will bring up the Bayern Munich 7-2. But the Bayern Munich 7-2 really doesn't hit me in any way. It's like, we were 4-2 down. We knew either we're going to go for the game or we're going to get slaughtered. We might as well go for the game. So we went for the game and we got slaughtered. Everything happened that we thought would happen. So it's not like it was that bad. To be honest, Spurs actually scored, I think, the most amount of goals against Bayern throughout all the Champions League last year. So I think that speaks to what attacking prowess we might have to some degree at least. But we got bloody Europa League on Thursday, 2nd round qualifying, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure. And apparently Bale might be coming back. The boy might be coming back to the bloody Spurs. This is insane. This is mad. I didn't think this would happen. I don't necessarily really want it to happen, but if it does happen, I'm going to be like, hey, if Real Madrid's paying half the wages, then it's like you might as well take the shot. You might as well take the shot, see what happens. Bale on the right, Son on the left, Kane up front, maybe Ali behind, maybe Lucas behind. It could be a really, really interesting dynamic to the team if Bale comes in. We get a new left back. I think Davis is good, but if we can improve there, some spice could be going on in the team. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel down there. If you didn't, then Jose will come after you. You don't want that. You really don't. So just subscribe anyway to avoid that. I've been NarendraTheComic. You've been great. I'll see you next time. That's tomorrow. If you don't know, make a video every single day. Been doing it every single day for over 2 years, and we ain't stopping till we get to 10,000 subscribers. So do subscribe. Come back again tomorrow for some more quality shitty content, because we're hashtag never not here. Yeah. Never not here, never ever. See you tomorrow, yet again, with some more quality shit. See you then. Skadoosh.